Hi, I'm Kimberly Washburn, Curator of Education at the Florence County Museum. Welcome to December's Holiday Family Day at Home. In this activity, we're going to be creating a cinnamon dough to create ornaments from. These ornaments will fill your home with a wonderful fragrance of cinnamon this holiday season. So let's get started. You're going to need to gather a few things from your Family Day at Home kit. You're going to need your applesauce. Measure out about 1/4 cup of applesauce into a separate container. You're going to need your cinnamon. This is pre-measured for you for 1/4 cup. You'll need your craft stick, your cookie cutter, your piece of ribbon, and your small fragment of straw. You're also going to need that wax paper sheet. You also will need to gather a few things from around your home. You're going to need a bowl to mix your dough in. Any kind of bowl works. I'm using a paper bowl, but a kitchen bowl is totally fine because both of these are food ingredients. And a rolling pin. If you don't have a rolling pin handy, you can also use the side of a cup or a glass, or you could even use something like a pencil, anything round that will let you roll out your dough into a flat sheet. Okay, let's get started. To begin, we're going to mix together the applesauce and cinnamon to create a dough. So for this recipe, we're using equal portions of unsweetened applesauce and cinnamon. So I have 1/4 cup of applesauce here. And I can just use my craft stick to scrape this out of my cup. Again, I measured out 1/4 cup of applesauce. I'm going to be using this craft stick to stir, but if that's not working well for you and you want to use a spoon from home, that's fine too. So I have my 1/4 cup of applesauce in my bowl, and now I'm going to add the 1/4 cup of cinnamon. I'm going to try to add that a little bit slowly so it doesn't poof up into my face and make me sneeze. And now I'm going to mix these two ingredients together. This should begin to form a dough. Just keep stirring until all the cinnamon is incorporated into your applesauce and it starts to come together as sort of one clump of dough. If your dough feels a little too soft to work with, you can always put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes and let it stiffen up a little bit before getting your hands in there. Mine is starting to come together in a ball, as you can see. So all that cinnamon is getting absorbed into the applesauce. I'm using unsweetened applesauce so that I don't have a lot of sugar to attract insects. All right, so now I have my clump of dough. I'm gonna just turn that out onto my wax paper. You can kind of feel that with your fingers. It might stain your hands a little bit until you wash them. It might make your hands a little dirty. And it's a pretty wet dough, but it doesn't stick to your hands or fingers too much. And I'm gonna roll this out with my rolling pin. So I'm just going to roll out my dough, and if it's difficult to roll or it's sticking to your rolling pin, you can always fold your wax paper over the top and roll on top of the wax paper, just like that. So I'm going to roll out my dough to be about 1/4 of an inch thick, about 1/4 of an inch, not too thin, because then our ornament might be too thin and could potentially fall apart. So now that I have this rolled out nice and evenly, again, if it's sticking, just fold that wax paper over the top. Okay, once I have this rolled out evenly, I can use my cookie cutter to cut out shapes. It looks like I might be able to get 2 cinnamon dough, maybe even 3 cinnamon dough ornaments out of this one piece. So if you can get more than one, these might be wonderful gifts to give to friends or to add on top of a holiday package or a gift to someone. Okay. So I was able to get 3 from this, and when I remove the outsides, I might even be able to roll that up and get a 4th one. So I can just kind of gently pull those away. You'll notice I'm not trying to pick up the shape that I cut out. I'm just trying to pick up the stuff around the outside. It might also be handy to use your craft stick to do this, to remove those outside pieces just by gently scraping them away. If you've refrigerated your dough, this will also work a little bit easier. I'm just going to kind of pull that extra dough away using my craft stick. There we go. And I have freed one of my cinnamon Christmas tree ornaments. To make a hole in the top for hanging my ornament, I'm going to use this straw, and I'm just going to press it into the top, not too close to the edge. Give it a little twirl and a little pinch and pick it up, and you'll probably notice that that cinnamon dough has stayed right in the straw and pulled right out. So you can keep cleaning this up. After you have baked your cinnamon dough ornaments, you can kind of brush off the edges and kind of clean up the shape of them as well. So don't worry if the shape is a little bit crumbly on the edges right now. You're going to bake these cinnamon dough ornaments for about 30 minutes at about 200 degrees. After about 30 minutes, you want to flip it over and bake it on the other side for another 30 minutes. So a low temperature for a long period of time. These will dry out and become very, very hard. And once they're baked, you can use this ribbon to loop through and have an ornament for your tree or as a decoration around your home this holiday season. They smell wonderful, they'll last all season, and they're a fun gift to share with others. We hope you enjoy making cinnamon dough ornaments.